So I'm the bad guy here because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a for-profit person. I don't do anything for free. Yeah, I want money and more of it. And I also beat my subordinates. So, you know, capitalist. And Margaret Thatcher is my hero, and she's in heaven for sure, especially looking at it from Eastern Europe. Okay, and we wouldn't be able to do this without her and Mr. Helmut Kohl, of course. But anyway, okay, so we have this problem. I can't get a job because I don't have experience. I don't have experience because I can't have a job, yeah? So we have to work on killing this vicious, endless loop, yeah? So, okay, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, like this? Right. I'm not going to tell you numbers at all. You all know the numbers. Just one thing. So to increase employment by 1%, you need a 3% increase in GDP. Okay? Any economist will tell you. Because below 3% GDP, it means companies are becoming more effective because they use less workforce for doing the same thing. So real expansion is above 3%. And if you look at the European figures now, you're going to cry, yeah? It's not near 3%, yeah? So that's the problem. Okay. And if we don't do something about it, it's going to be the road to Mordor, as you can see in this picture, if you know what Mordor is. So, okay. The figures are actually not telling you the whole thing. We already know that people are not even registered because they have given up. They don't care. They're not motivated. They don't even know what they want. They're living off their parents. I haven't known this one, but it was amazing. Yesterday we talked with Elena. She's from a recruitment agency. I'm from a recruitment agency. And it's like she was in my head, you know, repeating my thoughts. And I was repeating hers. And at the end of the night, we're like, okay, you know what? Let's go to sleep because we don't have anything new to tell to each other. So, I mean, which is weird. I mean, it's another country, yeah? And she's working for a large multinational company, and I work for my own company, which is a nano-sized company. Okay, a sad thing that because people live on of their parents, the parents work like hell. And they don't live to become pensioners, most of them. I mean, especially the males in Hungary. This is a Hungarian figure for males, 71 years life expectancy. This is the lowest in Europe, or one of the lowest. Means, actually, if you're a working male, you in Hungary, most probably you die when you're 50-something in heart attack. That's the most likely scenario, okay? So that's the Hungarian way of solving the pension problem. So, very sad. So, the major problems, I really will not repeat this. I'm going to go very fast here because yesterday I had to just change my presentation because everything I said was already out. So I would just really change it that I did this night, yeah? So it's not the major problems in Hungary, it's Europe, okay? So, although one thing I do want to mention, the brain drain thing, that we are facing a severe brain drain from Hungary. We lost in the last 3 years 500,000 people. I call it exodus. Exodus. And half of them is skilled workers in the skilled manual workers, like waiters and plumbers and all that. The other half is doctors, software engineers, etc. It's a tragedy. The other tragedy we have is the internal one. And we discussed with Elena, it's the same thing in Bulgaria. That means the country is getting emptied out, everybody goes to Budapest. Actually, in Hungary, we have one city, that's Budapest, yeah? So it's a small country. So the countryside is really emptied out of, so to say, intelligent workers because people are fleeing to the capital. So we actually had some good initiatives from the government, from the previous government, let me say. They named 5 country towns to be sort of high-tech centers, the ones with universities, and they were trying to give incentives for companies to move there. high added value, to move high added value jobs, and they were creating some kind of tax reliefs. I think it's a very good initiative to make these hubs outside the capital. Okay, and teachers as lowest paid group, maybe that's something Hungary specific. So out of the jobs available for master's degree people, teachers are paid lowest. They are paid 100,000 forints lower than anyone else. So it's a shame. And it's also an answer to the question, why don't we have enough people in technology? Because I'm as a headhunter, I just need to approach a fresh graduate mathematics teacher. Would you like to be a software engineer instead? A junior one, maybe a software tester, yeah? For 3 times that money as you would get as a teacher. And if you're not just out of your mind, you know. So, same goes for physics teachers, of course. Okay. But we have very few government initiatives, I must say, this day. But I did find something really good. This link I have here, unfortunately I won't be able to show it because I don't have the right internet connection here. But it's an initiative supporting to become entrepreneurs. So they have, this is the site. They have financial support. They're granting starting money, seed funds of 3 million to 6 million forints. It's really just a seed fund, so they will have to find investors after that, but they can start the business. They offer some kind of trainings, you know, a basic training to, you know, how to do your accounting, a basic accounting, how to write an invoice, you know, those kind of things. What are the legal obligations of your of a small company? And they also offer some competence tests to be able to test yourself. Do you really up to the challenge? You know, it's personality tests that they have, and so far they offer it in only some of the poorest regions, so not all Hungarian regions. So it's a pilot at the moment. But I'm really happy to have this. Okay, we used to have the so-called start card, which was really a 100% salary, or actually 50% salary and tax allowance and allowances support. So companies who were willing to hire fresh graduates could require a tax relief. Same went actually for mothers coming back to the workforce, and to very old people above 55 or something. I'm speaking very old from, you know, work terms. Yeah, I will be 50 very soon. Oh my God, I have to run. So, okay, this is no longer now, but instead we have a substituting program. It offers the 50 and 100% salary and allows support for the first year if they employ the person for at least 4 hours a day, and if the employment is at least for a year. Okay, and in 2011 there were 4,300 people in it. It was a lot more in 2006. Because obviously, because of the crisis, it's no matter that they give me support if I can't risk a job, then I won't. So that's the crisis effect. But it's okay. And then from January 1st, we're going to have the first job guarantee program. This is an EU initiative, and as far as I know, it will be compulsory in every country. So cost of employment is supported if employed for at least 9 months. So you have to commit to 9 months if you're an employer. And there's also mobility support, like travel costs between, you know, Hungarians are absolutely immobile. If you were, you know, we used to say that in 900 80, the Germans beat us at Augsburg, so we got off the horse, and ever since we're immobile. So it's the Germans' fault. Anyway, so, okay. I said I'm an IT, I'm from an IT recruitment agency. And it was mentioned before that IT is a very special industry because there's shortage in this workforce. And as an IT recruiter, I don't have any kind of sales problems. I can get sales even if I close my eyes. I'm actually chasing away potential clients. I cannot serve them. I have such delivery problems. I can ask so much money as I'm not ashamed of, really, for one single person. The problem is whether I can find the person or not. And well, my company is a very small one, and so we undertake only very, very special searches for special positions. But we deal with every person who wants to talk to us, and the person is in IT. So even if we cannot offer a job for the person, he can still come into the interview. As I said, we're not a non-profit organization, so why are we doing this? In the beginning, when the company was set up in 1999, of course we needed a database. So we said, everybody can come in. Everybody is going to be good for something at some time. So we had this very, very long-term approach. And that's why when we are doing career services for basically anyone who jumps in the door, we do it for free for the person, but the person is going to be our connection forever. And I must say, 20% of my clients used to be my candidates. So I'm not a good guy. I'm not doing this for free. I'm doing it for a long-term investment, okay? So going back to the IT business, you'd think all is shiny and happy in IT because everybody can get employed. The thing is, it's not true. Two things is happening in IT. One, cloud technology. I'm not going to explain that to you in detail. The other is mobile technology. What does this mean? What you see here is the invoices of my own company. You see there's the figure of 50 euros at the end. I get this invoice from Microsoft. There's another one for 31 euros. And there's a third one. You can see it's American because they don't put the name of the client. That's a European thing, you know. That's $5. Well, okay, almost $6. Oh, my God. So my IT cost of the month is 24,000 or almost 25,000 forints, but that's only 80 euros. Before, I needed one guy to do this. So saving, storing, 24 hours customer service, everything is done for me in the cloud for 80 euros a month. And the location is North America. That means there won't be system admins. The guys, you know, and it's not something from the economy. It's not a political thing. It's a technology thing. Yeah? So IT business is always severely affected by technology developments. IT people have to learn every single moment of their life. If they give up for 5 minutes, they're out. And I'm serious about the 5 minutes. It's not a poetical exaggeration, yeah? So what happens? We have lower leveled skilled IT people who are useless. What's happening is that very, very compact, hardcore IT skills are needed of very few people who most probably work in the US. Okay? So that's what's happening. All right. We have some beautiful non-government programs on the other hand. I said Hungarian government is not doing really much at the moment to have youth employment, but the non-government programs, they are there. Actually, we have job fairs, are very, very successful. Job fairs of the universities. the technical university started in 1992. It's very, it's a nostalgia for me because I was a member of the organizers of the very first job shop in Hungary. So it's good to look at wow, where it all developed. We had 35 companies back there. No one really knew what it was all about. We were praying for the students to show up at the event. Now it's major. They grew out of the building. You know, companies are killing each other to be there. So it's really amazing. And also it's not just an exhibition area with companies with jobs and with students who are putting in their CVs, but there's a lot of programs around it. So like, you know, trainings, assessment center, mock interviews you can try. You can, you know, first time in your life, you're playing as if you were in a job interview. So there's a lot of, you know, tests, all kinds of company presentations, so you can learn about the companies prior to going them, so you understand their business. So there's a lot of things there. I'm really happy about that. We have actually many job fairs. So, okay, then there's these private agencies providing career services. Some of them are for pay. Ours is free, as I said, but there are other headhunter companies who do the same thing as we do. Okay, and there are individual success stories, and I'd like to tell you one. Nobody knows who the person is because it's a Facebook page. It's called Szárnyas Fejvadász, which is Hungarian for Blade Runner, you know, the movie. But word by word, literally, it means winged headhunter. And if you have any kind of job opening, be it a cleaning lady position or a senior software developer position, people are sending it to this person and he's posting it to the Facebook page. And it's got like an enormous amount of likes. And it's a free service. It's just one person taking sort of volunteering to do this. So it's really nice. I think these kind of proactive citizens are really beautiful. I really praise them. Yeah, and we were talking about young people not being motivated and not being open to work at all. What's the reason behind it? The reason is it's not trendy to work. It's not cool. Today's young people, they want to be trendy and cool. So why don't we do them something trendy, you know? So there was this initiative actually originally against discrimination. So there were some companies who made a page, a very simple page. It's just the logo. That's the logos of the companies that are on the page. There's nothing more. And there's just one sentence that we, as an employer, agree to judge people solely by their performance. We are not discriminating in any way. Neither for gender or age or skin color or religion or sexual preferences. And for some reason, first it was established by Eastpel, which is a translation company, and Google and Prezi. Prezi, you know, you've seen two Prezis yesterday. It's a Hungarian startup. And then the media companies joined. And the next moment, companies just started to flood in. And everybody just went, because it turned out that it's actually cool to be there. And you know, young people had the feeling that this is a community thing, and this is a cool, trendy community thing. So this is the best employer branding event I've ever seen in my life. And all you had to say, send in your logo and say, I'm not going to discriminate. Turns out it's a cool thing. So, okay. There are, of course, these talent scouts of the larger organizations. In Hungary, at least, almost every big multinational company has an internship program because they have to face shortage of skilled and motivated workforce. So So they go out, they reach out themselves to the students. Morgan Stanley, the large U.S. investment bank, they even created a complete curriculum at the technical university. So they're paying for all this stuff. Just as same thing goes for Nokia and Ericsson. They are the supporters of the Technical University of Budapest for 20 years now. I'm really worried what's going to happen with Nokia. Yeah? That means it's an outright threat to the Technical University of Budapest if Nokia is not supporting them anymore, because if there's no more Nokia, I'm shit scared what's going to happen with the university. Okay. So, and there were some brain regain activities, events. 3 famous Hungarian technology startups, Prezi, Ustream, and LogMeIn, they made a roadshow in Scandinavia to try to bring back the Hungarians home. And they made big parties and festivals and just come home parties, you know? like it's cool to be in Hungary, it's cool to work for Prezi, and it is cool to work for Prezi, actually. They have an amazing office. Okay, and then there's the meetups. I don't know if you know the meetup.com website. It's an American initiative, but anyone can start a meetup. It is a professional small gatherings, usually in a pub or any other venue that's available. And this is really, really sliced up down to very small specializations. Like, there's no such a thing as IT meetup. There's a C++ programming language meetup, or there's data science meetup, or actually cooks have a meetup, or architects, or actually city architects have meetups. So what's happening, they have presentations, professional presentations about their profession and the new stuff in that, but it's a venue to meet. So when we have somebody in our office who doesn't have a job, we say, just go to a meetup, and you meet your future employer right there. Okay, your own idea, your own business. You know what it takes to be an entrepreneur. All this madness, you got to be mad to do that. You got to be able to fight this and to face uncertainty, and you have this street fighter personality, and not to give up. So in fact, you should have a twisted sense of reality. You have to see it differently than anyone else. You have to sense business where everybody thinks there isn't one. Okay? Those are the best businesses. Yeah? If you look at all the success stories, it's always somebody did something that no one has done before. But can we do that in Hungary? No. Because in Hungary, we have this mentality that someone else is going to solve our problems. The king, the Kaiser, the state, the Americans, the EU, the Germans, whatever. And again, the state now. Today is the state, yeah? I don't know how to solve that. I have no answer. This is an open question for everyone. And then we have a completely wrong cultural background. Are there Hungarians in the room, actually? Raise hands. Okay, you recognize these titles? The Treasure-Seeking Little Jacket, Kincskereső Kisködmön, yeah? Boys of Paul Street, Pál utcai fiúk. These are titles which are compulsory books in the Hungarian education system. Think of it. All the 10 million Hungarians living in the country have read these books, because this is the compulsory literature. In brackets, you see in what grade was it. So first titles in second grade, etc. Problem is, who are the heroes in these books? The heroes are dead. The first title, Treasure-Seeking Little Jacket, for youngsters age 7. In the second chapter, the sister dies. The guy is starving and is frozen all throughout the whole book. And at the end, he just goes home and nothing happens. Boys of Paul Street, the main character is dead at the end because he sacrificed his life for the group. It's actually based on almost a real story. It's not a real story, but in a real setting in Budapest. They were fighting for a piece of, it's called a grund, where they can play football. There's a house now. It's across Maria Street and Paul Street. You can check it out. So they were fighting for nothing, and everybody sees it. It's plain there for everybody living in Budapest that the sacrifice was for nowhere. Stars of Eger, Bogi was telling you about Eger. For 75 pages, they're trying to free someone in the prison in Istanbul, and they fail. It can never happen in a Hollywood movie, yeah? Never. Be faithful unto death. That's my favorite. The main character is the biggest loser on earth. He's winning the lottery, and he's accused of thiefdom, and he gives it back. And then he's not finishing the university. He goes home to his village, to his mom. I actually forbade my son to read this. And I've written an official letter to the headmaster of the school that I don't allow my son to read this book. The Heartless Man's Sons, Közszívű ember fiai. Yeah? All the main characters are dead, except for one who shouldn't have survived. Yeah? Amazing. So, is it better with small children? The songs yesterday. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I envy the Slovakians, you know. What songs do we have? A snail whose house gets burned. A stork who has a bleeding leg because a Turk cut it with his knife. A cow that is completely mad because it has no ears and no tail and it even gets the flu. A little ladybug must fly away from here quickly because the Turks are coming and will put her into a salted water well under a cart wheel and finally shoot her dead. A ladybug. Poof, a ladybug. Come on. We do have a statue of the Paul Street boys, yeah? This is in Budapest, yeah? So if you want, so history tells us, if you want to be a hero, you have to be dead. Very encouraging to set up your entrepreneurship, yeah? So shall we revolt? No way. These are the dates of Hungarian revolutions. Each and every one of them failed. Where's Ramon? In Hungary, if we had 25% unemployment, nothing would happen. If we had 50% unemployment, nothing would happen. This is what's happening. Alcoholism and suicide. We are competing with the Finns for the #1 suicidal rate in Europe, yeah? Instead, what do we have for Anglo-Saxon society, yeah? 3 kids going amazing hardships. And they win. Even, look at this loser here. He wins. Yeah? Even if you're a loser, you win. Everybody tells them to stop it. Nobody believes them. Everybody tries to but they keep up. They're determined as hell. They are facing the biggest monsters than ever, even bigger monsters in every book. For 7, at the end, they are actually fighting a person that's worse than Hitler or anything you can, or Assur-Bannipal or whatever from the history, you know. And they win, you know. So I would make this book compulsory, and seriously, people coming in my office and you haven't read the Harry Potter, if you want a job, your first homework, you have to read the Harry Potter series. I'm serious. That's one of the tasks. From management point of view, what is a Harry Potter? Incredible college, facing unknown, facing competition, perseverance, determination, teamwork, exploiting individuality. They always send Hermione to the library because she's the only one who's willing to read. Okay, we have such people at the office, yeah? There are the information seekers. As we managers, we don't have time to Google everything. We have somebody to do that for us, yeah? That's Hermione, yeah? Learning from lessons, leadership, yeah? They stand there in front of these other people, and at the end, teachers are following them, yeah? Okay, so that's Harry Potter. Despite of this, We still have a very hot life of startups in Hungary. I'm really, really glad to announce this. I'm not going to show all these companies, but if you have this presentation, you can check them out. The three things here are not Hungarian startups. They're famous American or UK companies, but they all have their technology centers in Hungary. And this is the trend now, to have the sales and marketing in the US and all the production in Hungary. Kitchen Budapest was sponsored by the Telekom, the German telecom company. It's an innovation and design hub. It's just a small kitchen, actually, where young people were allowed to get in, to discuss some ideas, to try some stuff. They had internet connection and actually a kitchen with beer, with coffee and everything. And the company that grew out of it is called Prezi. One of them. We have many companies now. So it was really an excellent initiative. Okay, so if you come to my office, I promise you three things. You will weep, you will get a job, and you will be a client of us. But the weeping part, I have to explain. I'm running out of time, I know, I'm just very fast. The single biggest office supplies item that we have to spend on now that we moved all the stuff to the cloud is tissue paper. Because they do weep. Okay, how is it done? People coming in, and we see that there's no chance to place them to any of our positions. But if we see there's talent in there, we deal with them. And most of them have the same problems you already discussed. They don't know themselves. They don't know what they want. So we face them with this reality. And unfortunately, most of the time, it turns out that their only fault is to be born in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the biggest mistake in their life is their parents. And this is happening in a 3 hours interview. So we have to be really fast, and we just tell them, we'll be very, very honest to you. The thing is that you're coming from a wrong family. How can you digest it? But that's the truth. So they didn't get that support that they should have. But I'm not blaming the parents. Don't think about it. We had the system change in 1989. We have done Eastern Europe, we have done something that no one has done before. People suddenly, and we didn't even have a revolution, It's just, okay, from tomorrow, you're going to have capitalism. Oh, how can you digest that, So, the MIMOX approach is that we have a very long interview, and we show them that all the preconceptions or these myths are not true. For example, yesterday I've heard several times, I don't have connections. We make them a LinkedIn profile and make them just contact me. Just me. Look, one connection links you to 100,922,000, etc. people, you say? Just contacting me. Okay? Shocking. That's the globalized world, yeah? Don't say you don't have contacts, okay? So, CV making, Europass is shit. If any one of you is interested, I can explain you. I've never met a single headhunter, recruiter, or actually even HR manager who would support Europass. Europass was probably done with by a committee in Brussels who have never been headhunters in their life. And I think they have never even tried to get a job with that. Anyway, so the sole purpose of the CV is to get you an interview, okay? And you have 2 seconds for that, none more. Yeah? I'm getting tons of CVs every day, so I'm just opening, out, out, in, out, So if your CV is good, I'm going to have you for an interview. You don't need a motivation letter. That's the other bullshit, in my opinion, yeah? I'm not going to read it. I don't have time for it. If I want you, based on your CV, I will call you in. If I don't want you, I'm not interested in any of the blah, blah. So, okay. This online presence building is what we do for these people. So we make a really good LinkedIn profile and aboutme.com profile because, and even tell them how to behave on Facebook. I have to contradict the people. No, Facebook is for your fun. It's your private thing. You're allowed to do it. I think you can even have the funny pictures on Facebook because at the end of the day, if I'm an employer, I want to have you as you are. I don't want to have you as you are not. So Facebook is actually taking off the risk because I can get to know your personality more deeper. Yeah? And come on, who doesn't have a party picture? I mean, it's a hypocrisy to say that managers at companies were never drunk in their life or don't like, you know, looking at nice people, or I don't like their dogs or whatever, you know. So we're all human, and I want to have a human being in my office, so, yeah? But of course, if you are abusing others, that's a different story. So, and there's it helps you to get a job if you write a blog, a professional blog. Even if you don't have a job and you can't have a professional experience, you can write about your experiences finding a job, yeah, or your hobbies, gastro blogs, whatever. I can still. That's also an experience. That's also, you know, as an employer, it tells me that a person can actually stick to something and carry it out and be good at something, and have aims. So a blog is really good. So what do we do with the personality check? How do we do the finding yourself thing? I have to stress that we only have 3 hours and the homework. The homework we never check. Homework is for them. I'm looking at you, Petra, because yesterday you said that you're doing something similar, that you're trying to help them to find their personality. I tell you guys now how we do it in very quickly. We make them draw a 3-dimensional matrix. The dimensions are actually optional, and it's not done on paper, just in the head, yeah? So dimension X, your skills. Like if you're in IT, you can program in this language. You can, you know, you have some project management skills or communication skills, negotiation skills, whatever skills. Dimension Y is the positions that are there that you've seen advertised. It doesn't matter whether you applied or not. Dimension Z, interesting industries like gaming industry, military, education, chemical industry, whatever industries you're interested in. And so, some of these cubes are going to be green light. I have negotiation skills. I'm interested in I don't know, the chemical industry, and there's a position as a sales manager for a drug company. Yeah. But other cubes are going to be red, so you don't have to deal with them. It just helps you to little bit structurize the possibilities, and I always tell them, don't be bothered by reality. Dare to dream. You please list being a CEO somewhere, being a president and chairman of an organization, whatever. Because at the end, maybe you will get there, but you have to have a green path. And you also need to know what not to think about. Yeah? If you hate the idea that L'Oreal and all these big chemical companies are testing things on animals, curse out the chemical industry altogether. Yeah? So that, the other thing, and this is the final slide, I promise. I won't get to the very end, so I have to make it the final slide. Finding yourself. This is a tricky one. List your 100 competencies that you are good at. Do it. 100. Not less. Not less. It will take you 2-3 weeks, maybe. One important thing, you are not allowed to show it to anyone. Neither your boyfriend, husband, whatever. Only your dog. Not your mom, your friends, no one. Not even me at the office. This is a homework for them. It's not okay to write, I like pancakes. That's not a competence. But you can write, I can do good pancakes. Okay? When you have this list, if you're stuck at number 20, then cross out creativity from the first one. Okay? When you have this list, let it relax, incubate for a couple of days or maybe 2 weeks, and then take your pen again and just tick or circle maximum 10 of those that you would like to use at a job. It's an excellent quick tool because it doesn't require a degree in psychology or whatever. Yeah? These 10 will show you, combined with the other, with the 3D matrix, it's just going to show you what to do. Okay, so we give this homework to them. We also have the tricky interview questions played out and everything. We also have an English language interview preparation training because one of our colleagues is from Scotland and he speaks, is a native English speaker, so we offer that too. Okay? Right. And this is a sample About Me page. If you don't know the about.me site, it can be very, very personal. It's not a CV, but you can link in your LinkedIn or whatever profiles. Okay. On the job, on the education system, I promise how many, do I have 1 more minute or no?
We're running out of time anyway, so
okay. Can I go ahead, you think? All right, education system. Can you answer these questions? What is the exact method of subtracting sulfur from sulfuric acid? What did Goethe think 1 year after publishing Faust? When was the battle in Hastings? 1066, I tell you, but have you heard any of such a shit in a job interview? You know you haven't. Because what you hear at a job interview is, tell me an example when you convince someone to choose your solution, yeah? Tell me an example when you were hard-pressed by a deadline. Tell me an example when you had to communicate, to stand there, to give in, to whatever. Competencies, personality and professional competencies. Remember Harry Potter, yeah? So you never had a job in your life? Were you by chance the head of your basketball team, you know, the leader, the basketball leader, the center, how you call that in English? The center guy. Or in handball? Or were you in handball the one who's in the enemy lines? Excellent guy for sales, actually, maybe. So, okay. Right, I'm going to skip those. I will discuss this with the ones who are interested. So, decision makers want to see straight career paths and speciality. With the polyhistors are dead now. We don't need polyhistors, you know. If you're good at too many things, I don't believe you. Yeah? So there we have these kind of career passes. If you're a junior specialist, you become the chief executive specialist of that thing. So maybe the CIO if you're an IT guy. If you're a junior sales, maybe you will be the CEO. If you can be a guru, you know, if you're just ever, you know, being a consultant and that one particular thing. If you are just an enthusiastic somebody, maybe you build the hit entrepreneur and sell your company to Google, etc. I believe any of that. This is what I don't believe. Yeah, so you're not allowed to do. You can't jump from one thing to the other. So that's not gonna. So once again, can we kill this loop? I can't get a job because I don't have experience. Because this says so. I can't get a task because I don't have experience. This is all wrong. I wanted to. It's read. I can't get a task because I don't have experience. It's not true. You can have a task. Task can be all those voluntary work, the pizza delivery, whatever. That's all tasks. And you can put it in your CV. of course. Yeah, the government should do enforce equal opportunities, talk to the industry, talk to recruitment agencies. To me, for the moment, it seems that they're just simply not talking to the industry. They're doing policies without knowing whether they are doing the right thing or not. Any minister or state secretary or whatever, they should try job hunting. They should try to get a job themselves, you know? Fake it, masquerade themselves, try, yeah? It's a good way to know how it feels. Okay, and read the real job advertisements. So not making changes to the education system without knowing what's really needed to the industry. And I say eliminate bureaucracy. Eliminate bureaucracy, okay? This is the government initiative for employing summer students for summer jobs, okay? Beautiful. They will give me money for it. But read this. I mean, you can't read it. I'm just showing. This first chapter is only about which legislation I have to stick to. Second, what I have to undertake, okay, point G. I have to understand that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, etc., etc. I'm a general manager of a company of 10 employees. Do you think I have time for this, you know? No, and I don't have a budget for a lawyer to read this for me. No. And if you don't stick to the contract with the government, this is your penalty. Point 1, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 1. Point 2, still the penalties. A, B, C, 3, 4, 5, 6. Point 8, B, C, 7, 8, 9. I'm serious. I just copied it from the Labor Ministry's site. Come on, you see? Look at that. NOV is the tax authority. If I see that as an entrepreneur, I run as fast as I can. No way. Forget me. You know, that's it. Yeah. So that was it. And yeah.